All right. So first question I think was like, what have you been doing during quarantine?
You're looking at it. I think the back white wall is emblematic of what I've been doing. Yeah, a lot of sitting at home, um, graduating from school. So that's been cool. It's been weird. I guess I can kind of empathize with a lot of the seniors who had their last semester kind of ruined. It was very weird to be graduating via Zoom, but yeah, I guess it's kind of, there was no alternative. But still watching a lot of The Office, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to.
Nothing better than watching The Office.
I think that's a fair statement. There really is not anything better than watching The Office. I mean, you have to enjoy Michael Scott's genius. But no, I think Sarah and I have been very fortunate that, it's as disrupting as COVID-19 has been. We've been able to still kind of be safe and carry on most of our day-to-day functions with not a ton of interruption, other than maybe getting a little bit of cabin fever. So for the most part, things are good. Things are going well.
Yeah, just a lot of TV watching.
Yeah.
Studying.
Yeah, a lot. You start to go through shows. Like I watched Outer Banks, which is not good. But I was so deprived for television that I was like, you know what, this is kind of interesting. It's like it's like the OC meets National Treasure, and I think that's I'm ready for season 2. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's not good, but you're in it.
Yeah, it's for sure. And so we've kind of had to lower our standards for what we're willing to watch, and as it turns out, there's no limit.
Oh man. Well, at least you have. I would say studying would be an alternative, but that's kind of boring. So,
yeah,
you got something. All right. Next question: what is something that the Lord has been teaching you during the season of life?
Yeah, I think something that's been very evident recently is just how important having a good community is. And I think it's something that we definitely take for granted. At least I know I do, or did. When you see people all the time, you're out and about, you don't really think much of it. And not even just like, I think there's intentional community that you foster, but then even just like the unintentional community that you're around, and the people that you see day to day, in the hallway, or just in your daily routine. I think you have people that you mix with, and I've definitely really taken that for granted, especially like being at home and not being able to see people. Like the other day I was up here at the school studying, and there's like 6 other people here. It's so dead. And a couple of the people that are up here are studying for a different bar exam, but like I know them really well, and I see them when they're going out to lunch. And on the day of my birthday, they like came back from lunch and had brought me a donut, and we're like, "Hey, we just wanted to wish you happy birthday. Like, hope you're doing well." And like, I don't know, it was this really nice moment, and I was really appreciative of it, and just being able to like have those kind of moments after like 3 months of not being able to talk to anyone other than my wife and our dogs. Like it's, I think I've definitely really taken for granted like the daily interactions you have. Like we've been good about making Zoom calls with former roommates and like trying to talk with you guys, and that is incredibly life-giving. I don't want to denigrate that, but even just like the small interactions you have, and I think there's something to acknowledging those, and then like finding some sort of spirituality or like some sort of intentionality in that. And I think as if and when things start to go back to normalcy, or once we start to get more of a routine moving forward, like looking for those interactions more often and trying to find with ways that they can influence and inform my life. 'Cause I think so often you just kind of go throughout your day, not even really acknowledging or reflecting upon those moments. And so that's something that I feel like God has been trying to tell me to take stock of those things and really appreciate them for what they are. And then, I would say the other thing is appreciating like the quiet time as well. Like knowing that we're meant for community and that we're meant to, I think, be in other people's lives. Like you really start to gain an appreciation for like, that is really how we as humans like are designed. Like it is, I think there's kind of that Genesis 2 element that gets talked about, but then when you're deprived of it, even on like a platonic or just like human level, like you really start to acknowledge and realize like, man, like you just need to be around other people. Like there's like almost like a chemical thing that occurs of like just you not being around another human body is probably like not good for you. But I think as we've been limited, I've realized how much like I get distracted, like whether it's social media or TV or just like, even like you just do things to distract yourself. And when those things are taken away, like you try to find other things to distract yourself. And so there's only so many times like I can refresh a timeline or a feed and it's like, no, like 37 seconds, 38 seconds. Like, okay, I have a problem and I need to address that. So like, I don't know, just like maybe acknowledging that when we do go back to normalcy, when things get into a routine, like trying to implement or just really even acknowledge the quiet spaces in our lives and maybe like be okay with the fact that we don't have to have something going on in the background. And I'm so guilty of that. Like I'll be studying and I'll have, the news on or TV or The Office or, like 3 things have to be happening to me at once. And not to say that like, can never happen. Like it's just, but I think being okay with the fact that like I'm not on my phone or the TV isn't on, and allowing, different avenues to speak to me and whatever that looks like. And so I don't know. I mean, that's not necessarily the most profound thing, and it's probably not even the most like original thing to be taught. But it's I think those kind of small messages have been helpful, and I think things to really take stock of as we move forward. And like there's things that I don't want to forget. As I think it's one of the things where you learn something, you're like, that's a good lesson to have learned, and then you go back to your day-to-day and forget all about it. And that's, I think, kind of the biggest fear that I have is that you have learned a lesson from all of this, no matter how small compared to everything else going on, and then you just kind of go back to like, oh, well, you know what, like the Warriors Trailblazers is on at 9:30. Like I'm gonna watch that until I fall asleep. And although I will say, when basketball comes back, I will watch every waking minute of it to make up for lost time. But
all right, so we have diverged a lot.
Yeah, that was question number 1. That was 2.
That's 2. All right, number 3. What have you been up to since you left WC Students?
Oh man. Okay, so I left in 2016. Okay. So I went to another church in Fort Worth called Arborlawn, and I was there for 2 years. I graduated from seminary. Whoop. I started and graduated from law school.
Let's go.
Yeah.
School graduate from?
I graduated from Texas A&M University School of Law, Texas. Yeah.
Woo. You have your ring?
Yeah.
There it is.
I don't have it on my hand because it's so heavy.
I don't have it on my hand because it doesn't fit.
Yeah. You need to do some like finger exercises,
One day.
calisthenics or something.
One day.
And yeah, so now I am studying to take the bar exam in July. So that's why I'm holed up in the law school dungeon where little to no sunlight gets in. And it's so cold. Like I have to wear a sweatshirt right now. I don't have socks on. My toes are really cold. Yeah, it's not great.
We're gonna have to take your word on that. I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see my little tootsies? Okay, fair enough. But yeah, so that's pretty much been it. You know, Sarah and I have been kicking it, hanging out. We were married 4 years last May, or this May, I guess. So like 20 days ago was our 4-year anniversary, and so we're still going strong.
Let's go. Well, it's fine.
Yeah.
And so like once you take the bar, like what's after that?
So yeah, once I take the bar, you have to wait like 2.5 months to hear like whether you pass or not.
Really?
So like, yeah, it sucks. So you take the bar, and then like if you have a job, you start. If you don't, you try to find a job. And then you start working, and you kind of like work and are like, man, I hope I passed. Because if you don't pass, then the place where you are is like, okay, well, see ya, thanks.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, because they can't keep you around because you gotta go study again. But yeah, so I have an offer from a law firm in downtown Fort Worth, and I will be starting there after Labor Day. So September 8th of 2020 is my tentative start date. So I'll take the bar at the end of July, have probably about a month off. Wish I could travel, but probably won't be able to. Probably just watch some more TV, and then I'll start working. I'll start working in September, and then I'll wait, for 6 weeks until I hear whether I pass the bar or not.
And then you become Floyd's lawyer.
And then I become Floyd's lawyer. That's right.
All right.
Yeah. I have a pretty big retainer, so you better start saving now.
It's free, right?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk off air.
Okay, fine. All right, and then my last question: favorite memory, fondest memory from being on staff at WC Students.
Oh man, that's
a loaded question.
That's so hard. Ooh, I have so many. Like I'll say this at the beginning. Like I had so many good memories from my time there. Like it's such a unique place where like you can go into work and it doesn't, like you obviously have things that you need to do and things that you have to take care of, but it doesn't really feel like work. And especially being on this other side where like I've had internships at law firms and all this kind of stuff where I wear a suit every day and just sit at my computer and do reading, research, and writing like for 10 hours a day. Like it's so different, and like I just loved the office camaraderie that we had and the people that we worked with. Like I just miss being able to, I hate saying hang out, because it was like we had jobs and we had things to do. So it wasn't like we were just yucking it up in the office all the time, but like I think we just had such a good group of people there, and like it just made going into the office and doing ministry so much easier. Because even like doing ministry on an island is really difficult, and it's really hard. And to have people that affirm you and encourage you and like do the things that you sometimes don't want to do together, like it just makes it so much better. And so I really miss that a lot. Like I miss being able to work with all you guys and doing stupid games for middle school, bobbing for stuff. The time that we made Landon Armstrong eat bananas blindfolded, and then he went and puked. And then like he didn't come back for 4 months, and we thought like he hated us. yeah, I mean, we did some pretty like sick games. And I think about it, I was like, man, we were mean.
It was very entertaining for us.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, and then like, yeah, like I really miss doing ministry with Zach. I was talking to him earlier today, and he was trying to figure out what time we were doing this because he was gonna like Zoom bomb us. Which would have been so awesome. But yeah, so I really miss that, and then like I really do miss working with students. It's just so much fun. Like I think there's something really, really cool about being able to like help students as they're walking and navigating through what it means to be, not only what it means to be like a middle schooler and a high school in like today's times, but also like what it means to be a person of faith or a believer and be in middle school and high school in these times. And it's incredibly difficult to do. And, I think even just to be like a lending ear and to kind of like, just kind of sit with them and sit in their problems with them, I think is just such a powerful, it really is like, it's an honor and a privilege really to be able to like be a part of their lives in such an intimate way. And like, I really never would take that for granted. And it's fun, and it's stuff that like, I don't really get to do now. I get to talk about, motions for summary judgment and, stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I miss, and, doing mission trips and, just, yeah, all the craziness, the stuff that when you're in it, like you're like, man, this staying up till like 4 a.m. or whatever, just trying to get stuff ready for the next day on mission trip. You're like, this freaking sucks. But it's like, those are the times when it would be like me, you, and Zach, and we'd be griping about it, but we'd be in it together, and we'd just be chumming it up. And, that's the kind of stuff that I remember, and the stuff that I really miss.
It's good that that's the stuff that we remember those moments, that part of it, like us being together more so than finding whatever it is that we were having to do that we didn't want to do.
Oh yeah, it's like, no, this tailgate's really gonna change the game. Like we have to, like, no, the tailgate ended up sucking. Let's be honest, but it was fun. Like the time that we got to spend together, and yeah, and it was just, I don't know, it was such a cool time in my life. And it was really formative for me, and I feel like I grew up so much. I was coming out of school, I was 22, and like I spent the first 4 years with you guys, and I don't know, I think it just really was such a really instructional time in my life, and so I was really grateful for it, and I really do, there's days when I really miss it a lot, and miss the kids, and miss hanging out with you guys. And yeah, what's the Andy Bernard quote that you always say, Floyd?
Oh my gosh, I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days before you actually left them.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It is good. So good.
Yeah, it is good.
Every time, man. No, that's good. It's good. And it's crazy because like you look back and you're like, man, those times were sweet, like as crazy as they were, as like we didn't really know what we were doing for the most part, like making it up as we went.
Oh yeah.
But it was fun to do it together.
Yeah. And I really didn't know any other experience. Like that was my first kind of job out of school, and like I just, you don't know anything else. And so I was like, oh, like I assume this is how it is everywhere. So you don't really realize like how unique and sweet of a position it is to be there until you're not. And yeah, I think that just makes it all the more special.